Welcome to Inspiring Insurance. Our goal is to provide value to the insurance industry through real-life experiences from insurance professionals who have walked the walk. You can expect to hear story sharing, top tips, and practical advice to help you grow and succeed in your career. We hope you enjoy this episode's guest. Welcome back to Inspiring Insurance. This week we are back in Brisbane and I am joined by the one and only Michelle Bayliss. Michelle has been part of a recent merger of two major businesses in Australia. Thanks for joining me today, Michelle.
Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. So Michelle, I'm gonna ask you something a little bit different to get today's juices flowing. What's your Monday morning busy rush coffee order?
A vanilla latte on lactose free.
Cool, that gets the week going well for you.
Yeah, so I start at 7:30, you know where our office is if you want to bring one in.
Sure, see you on Monday morning.
Yeah.
So Michelle, what made you choose insurance as a career path?
So look, it really fell into my lap. I was a single mum. I started quite late in my career compared to a lot of people. So I was in my 30s. I'd been just a mum for sort of 15 years at that point with my oldest daughter. I'd done sales jobs, admin jobs, just, to sort of get as much money as I could. My daughter actually had a really serious health scare, which sort of forced me to look elsewhere. I started off just doing admin for an insurance brokerage. At that time, I didn't even know what an insurance broker was. It was something that had never crossed my path, apart from my home insurance and my car insurance. I never thought about it. So where I started just doing admin work and I loved it. I found it really intriguing learning about insurance. I sort of believe, I guess, that the universe puts things in our path that we are meant to do, and I truly think that insurance was it. So I started in admin, and at the end of the first 12 months, I'd completed my tier 1. I was really lucky to have a boss that really believed in me and supported my learning and supported my growth. So whilst I was a little bit older starting, it was just the best decision ever.
Yeah, amazing. Talk me through that first 12 months in the industry. So it sounds like there was quite a few things going on in your life at that time alongside joining a new industry, learning about a new career. What was the first 12 months like for you?
Look, it was hard. I was studying for the first time in, too long. I was studying, I was being a mum, I was having to learn not only a new job, but about insurance. So I had absolutely no idea. It was tough, but it was amazing. I loved learning. It was really the right time for me to start picking up on things, and I picked up on it really well. I've always loved to talk to people and to deal with people. That's always been sort of my niche. So it just made me feel really proud to be able to help people. And whilst the days were extremely long and also the nights, it was just worth it.
Yeah. How did you balance that as the working parent, the working career woman?
Yeah, look, I have got the most amazing family, so they really stepped up if I needed just a few hours in peace to look after the kids, so I could just sit down and study. Again, my boss was really good, so she was always there to answer questions. She was really, really supportive while I was studying. I just head down bummer. I just did it. It was really tough, but it's, as a parent, that's just what you've got to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I know my daughter fell off the monkey bars a couple of weeks ago, so she's been home with me for a broken arm.
Oh, the poor thing.
So walk me through the first few months in an admin role. So this is where most people who get into a broking role will start. What were your fundamental learnings new to the industry throughout that first, let's say, 12 months?
Yeah, look, I guess it just started with the basic, sort of processing things. So entering schedules, the really basic admin stuff, whilst I was asking questions about what is this and what is this and what is this. It went from obviously the studying to doing my own home and contents and private motor, the really basic sort of stuff, and really hammering down on that. So I knew exactly what it was. I knew the questions to ask. I knew what we needed to be able to provide a quote to our clients. I started just learning the markets available to us. So really honing in on that. Probably 6 months maybe after I'd done my tier one, it was then I started doing, we specialised in a certain industry. So it was really learning about that industry. And again, just focusing and just learning as much as I could. I loved reading PDSs and I still do. I think it's the best way to learn something. A lot of people find it boring, and yes, sometimes it is, but it's good just to be able to get an understanding of what that policy covers and asking questions. I asked so many questions, but that's how you learn.
Yeah, for sure. What was your biggest learning throughout that first year?
Oh gosh, probably just what insurance was and what potential claims could actually arise. You know, if you've only ever started or if you've only ever had home and contents and motor claims, you just know, oh yeah, if I crash my car, if the TV falls down, if it floods, that's really the only thing you know. So learning about other potential types of claims and really opening my mind, that was probably the biggest thing of realising anything could happen.
For sure. So you spent the first 4 to 5 years with your first business in insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we now? What happened over the next 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, so as I said, we specialised in a certain industry at my first brokerage. It was great. I learned so much, but it did give me the confidence to realise I needed to expand and I needed to learn new things and grow and learn things from other brokers and ask questions. So I came over to Insurance House. I had a book that was actually brought out. Someone else had it. So everyone would understand when you take over someone's book, there's always the first 12 months are rough. You know, you're sort of getting to know the clients and you're fixing potential mistakes and things like that. I came to this company and it was amazing. There was so many opportunity growth. There was so much room to grow here. I focused probably the first 6 months on really just tidying up the book, of getting to know the staff. And this year, I was actually made client service manager. So along with looking after my own book, I look after our support staff. So I help them grow. I try and teach them as much as I can. I think I'm a pretty open person, so they can come to me and ask questions. I try and teach them so then they can step up into where they want to grow professionally.
Yeah, great. It's funny that you say when you took over this role and you had a portfolio that had a little bit of tidying up to do, because it's quite common recruiting for roles and clients will say, Nathan, you just need to let the candidates know that, there will be a bit of grunt work initially to tidy up a few things. Yeah. So you've been there, you've done that. What was your strategy working through those initial, problems?
Yeah, look, it was just to take my time to really sit down and focus as much as I can, review everything, make sure things were done right. The book that I'd taken over, the previous broker had been their broker for 10 years, so substantial amount of time. So I'd really formed that connection with him. So I really wanted to have that connection with him as well. And the amount of phone calls, just introducing myself, explaining who I was, it was tough because a lot of them have been used to, he would just roll it over and I didn't have to do anything. So why do I have to explain things again? But we made so many changes because things were just incorrect. My strategy was just to be myself and, talk to them and explain it. Did it always go down right? No, it didn't. But I'm really proud to say that I lost very minimal clients. So it was just to make sure that they got it done. So we had everything right for them. So, the following years, it wasn't such a big deal of having to have half an hour conversations.
Yeah, great. And you also mentioned, so throughout your role as it's evolved, you're now managing a broker support team.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the most important thing about a broker and their broker support relationship, how do you make sure that it's run as effectively as possible?
Communication for sure. So especially when a lot of people work from home, sort of a few days a week, we need to make sure that we're all communicating, expectations are clear. If they aren't, that's sort of when it starts to go a little bit off tracks. So yeah, definitely communication.
Yeah, sure. And obviously, as a broker support, it's that fundamental learning period for them coming into the industry. Usually, unless you've got experienced broker support, which yes, that does happen quite a lot as well. But how do you structure them initially with a training plan or set them up for success from the beginning?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we're really lucky. Our HR department does do a really good 3-week induction period. I make sure, though, that I'm regularly checking in with them. What do you need? Are there questions? What can I help with? Because I know, and everyone knows how overwhelming it is when you first start a job. So I want them to feel really supported and for them to understand that they can come and ask any questions at all. There's no such thing as a stupid question. And just, again, keep that line of communication open. I think that a lot of broker support staff feel really unimportant in the big picture. They sort of think, oh, well, we're just sitting there doing the processing. They're so valuable. I couldn't do anything without my support team. They're brilliant. But we just need to make them feel and make them understand that they are important. They're an integral part of the puzzle. So
for sure. And how do you do that? What's your secret sauce?
Oh gosh, I'm just me. Everyone in our office knows that I'm me. I'll say it how it is, but I'm always the first person that people can come and talk to if they've got any issues. I've always been really, really open with that. I think, there's no secret recipe. It's just I'm me. I'm open. If people need anything, I've always been available for them.
Yeah, great. Love it. Yeah. So you've been in the industry now for about 8 years. What's one change that you've noticed over that time that's had the biggest impact on brokers and the broking role to where it is now?
Oh gosh, probably COVID, I think, made a lot of people really reassess their lives as a whole. So whilst when I sort of first started, there was an abundance of brokers for certain roles, now it's really limited. People either left the industry completely, they've retired. So our job is a lot harder because we have a lot less support, a lot less staff, and the opportunities are out there, but COVID sort of, as I said, made people go, oh, do we want to be in this industry? Yeah.
Fair enough. Did you notice anything from a client expectation perspective post-COVID?
They were asking more questions about if something like that happened again, would I be covered? How can I get cover for if I have to close my business? And as we know, there was no cover for something like that, but it made them realise that they need to have a second option and they need to be able to do something. If their business had to close, what could they do to support their family, to carry on with their lives? So I think it has opened clients' minds a little bit with, is there anything that we can do to protect us if this happens again?
Sure. Do you find that, or did you find that your role has evolved more into an advisory consultation sort of piece for the post-COVID, and if that were to happen again?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. People are just more sort of in tuned, I guess, with something that's going to happen. So they want to talk to us and they want to find out every single option. Of course, there's still the clients that don't want to talk to us. They just want to flick it on every year. But they are sort of more attuned with, cost of living crisis and everything. Everyone is just trying to save a buck. They're trying to really protect their assets.
Yeah, sure. Is there any particular skill that you think brokers need now that they might not necessarily have needed when you joined the industry?
I think listening to the clients. So the insurance industry, as we're all aware, is quite an older industry. There's a lot more sort of older people that potentially in the past haven't had to have those conversations with clients. It's been very stagnated. So now I think that the clients expect and they want to be able to get hold of someone. They want to be able to have a conversation with them. It's not just a business transaction. It's becoming a lot more personal.
Yeah, great. And how would you educate someone new to the industry on that side of things? So say a client needs to get hold of you after hours. You've got a rookie in the industry who's 18 years old, and they're like, I don't want to answer my phone after hours. How do you manage that expectation with staff?
Yeah, look, I think it's explaining to them and saying, look, we understand that this is an out of office phone call. However, the clients are generally only going to contact us when something really bad's gone on. So, while it's, oh no, it's our Thursday night at 7 o'clock, we're not going to answer the phone, they've potentially had the worst thing that's happened to them in their lives happened. So it doesn't happen very often, but it's just about being available, even answering the phone and saying, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, acknowledging their response and saying, look, I don't have my computer in front of me. I'll call you first thing tomorrow morning at 8:30. So setting that expectation with them. And I guess explaining to, the baby broker or the baby support staff that it doesn't happen all the time, but it is part of your role. And there'll be other sort of things that you can do. You might want to finish at 3 o'clock on a Friday, that you can do that, but it's just it's just part of the job.
Yeah, sure. And I guess just saying to the client, I understand what you're going through right now, and setting expectations and timelines and things for them. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just acknowledging and just listening. A lot of times that's just what they want.
Yeah. So my next question for you. So insurance broking, actually like recruitment, there's a lot of misconceptions around from clients around the role of an insurance broker or a recruiter. Are there any misconceptions around insurance brokers that you wish you could correct?
No, we're boring. We're not boring. Insurance isn't boring. It's fun. As I said, I really love my job and I really love insurance. And I think that a lot of people, think it must be the most boring job. I could talk about it for hours because I do love it. Insurance touches everyone. It's in everyone's house, everyone's business. It's all around us. So there's so many opportunities for someone there, and it's not all boring. We can be really fun.
Yeah, nice. What do you love most about working in the industry?
I love helping people. That's what it is. And I love knowing I've done a really good job. And if the worst is to happen, then they're going to be covered. And so, again, going back to something, the worst time in their life, I've made a difference and they will be covered. Whilst it'll be hard, it's not going to be as bad as what it was.
Yeah, nice. What would your promo line be for people who might be thinking of insurance as a career? What would you say to them to get them excited and get them pumped into the industry? Put you on the spot.
Oh, that's a hard one. I don't know. Just give it a go. Just try. As I said, the opportunities are so amazing for people, and especially women. We need more women in the industry. So, I'm always talking to my daughter's friends and talking to other friends if they want a career. It's such a brilliant job.
Yeah, nice. You said earlier that part of what set you up for success is that you love the relationship building side of dealing with your clients. What's your secret to building long-term relationships with people?
Just being friendly, asking them questions, learning about them, remembering things. For example, if you've got a client that says his daughter is getting married in 3 months, we send them through an email in 4 months or give them a call and say, hey, just checking on everything. Hope everything's okay. How was your daughter's wedding? So really forming that personal connection with them.
Yeah, sure. Just the additional personal touches, hey?
Absolutely. And that's the same, not just with clients. It's the same with underwriters, with claims, with anyone at all. It's really important, I think, in life as well.
Yeah, for sure. Nice. Is there anything that you do aside from what you just mentioned there as a regular part of your broking routine to help add those personal touches?
In regards to, I'll have set up a task reminder. So, Johnny's daughter's got married. I'll set it for 3 months so it does remind me, or I'll make notes in their client files of anything important. Just because, we've got 400 clients, so I'm not going to remember everything about everyone. But, yeah, it's just just to remind myself. I'm a fan of lists and tasks and things like that.
Yeah, nice. Is there anything that you wish you'd known when you first started that you know now?
I guess probably it is going to be hard and it's going to feel really overwhelming at times. It's not easy. There's so much to remember and you learn every single day, but it will be okay. You've just got to ask those questions, do your study. It'll be amazing. But yeah, it will be really hard at times, but it's going to be worth it.
Yeah. What was one of the most challenging moments that you've had throughout your career?
I think for me, the most challenging, and I still deal with it now, is self-doubt. For a really long time, I sort of had imposter syndrome. So I would always be in my head going, well, I don't have as much experience as these people and I don't know as much and I haven't been in the industry as long. So that really put a dampener on my confidence. And even after years of doing the right thing and getting amazing feedback, I still had that little voice inside my head. That's been by far the biggest challenge. That's a journey that I'm still doing. I still have to tell myself I'm really good at my job. I'm really good at people. I love people. The support staff in our office are brilliant and I think we have a really good relationship. I do bring something to the business. So it's just telling myself that and not doubting myself all the time.
Yeah. And it's funny that you say that because I think it's so common in the industry. A lot of people do have, or that kind of does sit in their brain all of the time. And imposter syndrome, I guess, doesn't really ever go away. Like we all go through that. Be right. So that's positive reinforcement and telling yourself, yes, I've got this. Yes, I can do this. Yes, I can do it. So yeah, great.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I try and do. I try and say to my support staff as well, just the positive reinforcement. And you're doing an amazing job and you're going to be amazing. And this is really well. I think we really need to encourage, especially the younger people coming into the industry. They are a lot different to us. They do need to be told, and we do need to tell them that they are doing a great job. Support them, because then they're going to want to grow with us.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think you'd be doing now if you weren't in insurance? You hadn't taken that leap?
Look, I think I'd still be stuck in just an admin type role, same thing, in and out, making potentially just enough to survive, but not actually really enjoying life.
Yeah.
Because I was so much older and, I had children quite young. I sort of spent the majority of my 20s just being a mum. So my kids are older now, but I would just be doing a normal admin job, plodding along.
Yeah. So you're glad you took the plunge.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
What would your biggest piece of advice be to anyone who's new to the industry? Give
it a go. Just give it a go. Honestly, find the right opportunity, and there are so many opportunities out there. It's the right opportunity, though, isn't just looking for the highest paid job. It's looking for a company that has a really good culture, that has really good support, because if you don't, then you're going to be put off by it. So really look for that right fit. Talk to people. Everyone knows someone in insurance. It's such a large industry. So find that right fit and then just learn and study as much as you can and know that your career can go anywhere, whether it's broking, underwriting, BDM, recruitment, anything like that. It can go anywhere. Just get your foot in the door and you won't regret it.
Yeah, I love that. That's a really good statement to end this with, I think. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for being a guest for this week's episode. I think this has been really, really great. And
great.
Your time. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Nathan.
No worries.
Thanks for listening. A big thank you to our guest, and we hope you found some value from this episode's chat. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to send it to a mate and hit follow so you don't miss what's next. I'm Nathan Anning, Director and Insurance Recruiter at Impact Talent Australia. Catch you next time.